Hello everyone, Jeff Duncan, Josh Katzenstein coming to you from the Superdome on Sunday night where the Saints have just wrapped up a 31-28, I think it's fair to say dramatic 31-28 victory against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Wow, Josh, that was a great game. It lived up to the expectations. Two kind of heavyweights, I hate to use a boxing cliche, but it felt like two heavyweights going at it. A lot of star power on the field, a lot of momentum swings, a lot of big plays, and the Saints in the end just made more big plays in the clutch to pull this one out.
Absolutely. We just got out of the Saints locker room, and a bunch of players were saying that this had a playoff atmosphere, and it was a really good opportunity for this team to really test itself against one of the best teams in the NFL. I mean, the Steelers obviously have some work to do to, make the playoffs even, but at this point they definitely look like one of the best teams in the AFC, certainly one of the best offenses in the NFL, and this defense made just enough plays. They struggled with Antonio Brown at times, mostly against zone. There was also the touchdown he had where he just blew right past Marshawn Lattimore and Kurt Coleman. He finished with 14 catches for 185 yards and 2 touchdowns. Juju Smith-Schuster was over 100 yards, so it wasn't all perfect, but then at the end of the game, like we've seen pretty much all season, the defense came up with a key stop when it needed one. Sheldon Rankins dropped back in coverage against Juju Smith-Schuster, tackled him, kept him from having his knee touch the ground, and then he punched the ball out. Saints recovered, Saints win.
Yeah, you don't see a defensive lineman make a play like that very often. And really, I thought, symbolic or emblematic of how the Saints have risen to the occasion all year. Look, they at times looked like they were on their heels today, but the defense down the stretch made all the big plays when it mattered most. One of the big plays of the game was on special teams when Craig Robertson, Chris Banjo make a tackle a half yard short on a fake punt. I mean, the Steelers came in here to win. Mike Tomlin called a game to win. I thought, he went for it, and the Saints were equally aggressive. And in the end, the Saints just kind of made a few more big plays. There were a lot of momentum swings, a lot of big officiating calls that turned this game. And I think the Saints have had some calls go against them this year. And today I think they got the benefit of some favorable calls in the clutch, especially against Joe Hayden.
Yeah, two really shaky pass interference calls against Joe Hayden. The first one basically gifted the Saints a touchdown because it gave them a 33-yard gain when Hayden barely touched Alvin Kamara. And then the other one was against Michael Thomas on the last drive, helped set up the the game-winning touchdown. And it was 4th down, and it was within 5 yards. I mean, there was definitely contact, but the ball might have been tipped. It was definitely one that came in late, and nobody would have been surprised if they didn't call it. But like you said, I mean, you have to deal with the calls, whether they're for you or against you. And the Steelers had a chance late, and the Saints shut them down and proved that they are worthy of the number 1 seed that they clinched, this 13-2 record, and they might just be the best team in the NFL.
Yeah, and I think that's the big key coming out of this game is the Saints clinched home field advantage in the playoffs the rest of the way. So now they can rest their starters, rest their regulars next week, as many as they can, and then they get a week after that. So 3 weeks away before they play another game here. And I don't know if it'll ever be as intense or as dramatic as this one, but it was, like you said, very much like a playoff preview here at the Superdome. Saints win 31-28. For Josh Katzenstein, Julie Bowden, Jeff Duncan, thanks for joining us.